this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another quick game of interplanetary I Spy going on here. Back to Mars, back to Gale Crater, and this was sent in by one of my subscribers back in the summer of last year, 2017. And here we have the raw image. And immediately, without doing anything to this, even though they've got this horrible orange filter on the image, which they put on everything, you can see what seems to be an intelligent structure right here. And it goes back into this mound and is partially covered in sand and rocks and debris. Okay, so I'll crack straight on with this. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so I'll try not to make this too long for my own sake, if anything. Right, it's also in the Gigapan here, which is a PDS Gigapan by Neville Thompson. Credit to him for this, really nice. MSL 1355, so you can just Google that and it will come up, but there will be links below as usual. Here we have it. Now, this is quite small. I don't know how small it is exactly, but I'd say it was no more than a couple of feet wide, possibly a bit less. Hard to say exactly. There's no real terms of reference here, but I'm thinking this is quite small because it's not that far away from the bottom of the image, which generally means it's pretty small, but we don't know how far it was zoomed in, the camera. So there we have it. Without doing anything to this, let's go full screen. You can see what looks like either some kind of building or foundation, the remains of a building like a bunker or some similar kind of structure, house, kind of bunker house. It could be the ground floor of a house and the rest of it was built on top and this is just the remains of it. Or it could be a boat structure. It does have some boat-like details to it here with these diagonals here. Really interesting. It's got a window here and a little door-shaped thing there. I don't know if it is a door. So it has kind of holes in it which look like windows and doors. And it has a roof structure here, or a flat structure coming along here, which goes angles back here. It's got an angle here. Now this did remind me, actually, of one of the things that Martin Graney found last year, which is what I call the bunker house, I think. I'll show you that in a second. But there are lots of other weird things in this area, and a lot of it does look like petrified wood. Down here, you've got all these weird spiky things here. And there's this very nice straight piece of either rock or debris here, which may be part of this structure that looks like it's torn off, with a lovely straight edge to it and a kind of angle here. Really nice. That's pretty convincing, I would say. Now, before we go any further, I will show you the enhancements I've done. Here's the raw image again. So it's almost smack bang in the middle of the raw image. You really can't miss it. It's right there. It's not very big, but it's got some pretty good detail as it's fairly close to the actual camera. And here is a similar structure. I'll come back to this in a minute. And there's also a similar shaped structure here, but these are this one is huge. This one is probably 1,000 feet across or something, maybe more. This one is quite small. This is probably similar in size. This is probably 3 or 4 feet across, so it's a bit bigger. But it has similar shape to it. So we'll come back to that in a minute. And as always, all these clips will be in at the end of the video for you to have a proper look, and you can pause it and take a screenshot or whatever you want to do, as usual. And I always put all the images in sequence at the end so you can see the raw image and the enhanced image, so you can see that I really haven't done very much to these images. I've just cleaned them up a little bit. So let's look at the folder. Here we have it. And what I've done here, I've just taken some clips. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go through the Gigapan clips here because they're a little bit clearer because they've already been white balanced. In other words, they've had that orange kind of nasty orange colour removed. Which kind of makes the image a lot easier to see. And you can see straight away that this thing is an intelligent structure. And it also looks here like the image has been messed with. Just here. Either that or there's some details there that the camera didn't really pick up very well because of the angle of the light or something. But it does kind of look like it's been messed with a bit by NASA. That they do tend to paste fake sand over objects sometimes, not all the time, but they do. If they see something that's blatantly manufactured or built, they will attempt to blur it out or cover it up slightly, you know. But they never completely cover these things, which is odd. I mean, they probably do, but we've never seen because they were covered up. But often they only partially cover up things. So there's a simple clip there. Let's go to this one because that is highlighted and you can actually see the shape better. There. Window, door, roof-like front to it here with angled parts, which looks like either a protruding wall, or this could even be wood. I mean, I don't know what material this is, but it looks like stone here at the back. But this may well be wood here. You've got what look like kind of slats of wood, planks even, in lines here. There isn't a huge amount of detail, but there's some interesting detail here, just here, and that little window. So let's go to the final enhancement, because that is clearer again. Right, there we have it. And you really don't have to do a lot to this to see what I'm getting at here. And it was spotted by Tom Pendlebury and was sent in to me last summer. And it's been sitting on my to-do list for ages and ages, and I finally got round to doing some of these things recently. I do get sent a lot of stuff. If you do send anything in, please send a link to the video, to the image, the original image, and point out where it is. Just draw a circle around the object or something. Just use paint or something like that. Just draw a circle around it just to make it easier, because sometimes these things aren't easy to see. This one was pretty straightforward, as you can see. But there we have it. I mean, what else can I say? It looks intelligent. It has straight pieces to it. It has a window. It has a door-like thing there. It actually looks better, slightly smaller. And you've got angled parts here, which look pretty cool here. And you've got this angled part here, which looks like it may have been part of it. And you've got kind of square, rectilinear kind of symmetry on the roof, or if this was a roof. Of course, this may have been a much bigger building, and this may just be the remains of the basement. You know, the cataclysm may have destroyed the building and just left the lower underground part here, only for it later to be uncovered as the sand maybe kind of blew away, exposing it. This may have been covered in sand for thousands of years, and the wind came along and just blew the sand off, you know. So there we have it. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. Excellent job by Tom Pendlebury here. Sorry I took so long to get round to this one. I'm still quite gobsmacked by it, because this really is one of the best, I think, examples of an intelligent structure close up on Mars, because often we see them like a mile away or 2 miles away, and they're a bit vague and you can't really see any detail. This has got some pretty good detail here. Just here, these angles. I mean, this is manufactured. I'm pretty. If ever I was 100% about something being intelligent, this is probably it. I mean, this is one of the best examples you're going to see. It really is superb. Let's see if there's any other versions of it. Let's get the full size clip here. Let's get in close. In one, and then, okay, we want that one there, which is the biggest one. Okay, you can actually see, let's go full screen, this piece here, and this goes back into the ground, and you've got an angle here. Now, when I saw this, I was really quite shocked. Well, not shocked, but pleased, because this confirms some of the other structures that have been found, which are similar in shape. Now, this may well be a boat section. This could be a boat cabin, and the rest of the boat could be buried under here. It is possible. Let's look at the larger image and see if we can see any contours here. It goes back into the sand here, and there may be a structure underneath here, like a boat or ship, or it would have to be a boat because it's too small to be a ship. But it may not be, of course. It just may be a building, a part of a building that's exposed and was once maybe much taller, and this is just the foundations. We have found other foundations on Mars, not that far from here, and I will put links to any relevant videos that I mention at the end of this video, so you can just click on the card at the end, and you can see other buildings and similar structures, okay? But I will show you this one very quickly. This was spotted by Martin Graney, I think, last year, and is similar in shape. This is not in Gale Crater. This was taken by the Opportunity Rover near Endeavour Crater, I think. This might even be Victoria Crater. Let's see what it says in the description. Did it say Victoria Crater? It should say here. Either way, let's crack on with it. Let's play just a little bit of that to show you what I'm talking about. Right, here we go. Now this one's more rounded. And this is probably only 4 or 5 feet across, maybe 3 or 4. Don't know. Really don't know how big this is, but it's also pretty small. And there seems to be a window and a door, kind of this bunker-shaped building here that looks like it's been concreted up. And there's also a square structure here, and there's other structures either side of this. But this is one of the best examples of a close-up of a building on Mars. This is thousands of miles to the northwest of the one I just showed you a minute ago, near Victoria. I think it's the edge of Victoria Crater, which is kind of near Endeavour Crater, so it's thousands of miles away. In this image here, you actually get to see the things either side as well, which are the same kind of bunker shape. Like here, I'm going to pause it there. This is raw. Look at the shadow here. It's that shape. It's like kind of shaped a bit like a razor blade. There's a special name for that. I can't remember what it is. See there? And when you see the enhancement, you can see these structures. They are kind of built into the side of the crater, and they're heavily damaged and eroded, and aren't that obvious immediately, but you can see the shapes. They are there. So there's the enhancement. Let's look at that. Look at the shapes here. Built into the side of the crater. Made to look like just natural rock formations. Now, if you were living, say you were on a warlike planet and you were living in a crater or on the edge of a crater and you didn't want to be seen, you would camouflage your house. Why wouldn't you? And make it blend in. This is why they're not easy to spot. That makes sense to me. So we get a close-up here. So there are other similar structures on different parts of Mars. And here's the credit to Martine Graney here. Brilliant job by her again. Outstanding work she does. And her enhancements really are quite superb. Look at that. I mean, way better than my enhancement. Really nice and clear. There we have it. There's a bunker there. So there are other ones and other examples. There's that square structure. So check these videos out. There will be links at the end to these videos. There's also this thing, which was what I called the Mars Giant Alien Hangar. Now this is way, way bigger. This is on the side of Mount Sharp, but it's a similar kind of shape and has a kind of bunker shape to it, but is thousands of feet long and probably 300-400 feet high or something like that. I don't know exactly, but it's very large and is up on the mountain. And this was seen right back in Sol 467, which was in the first kind of year or so of the rover being there in Gale Crater. And you have this thing. And it's even got an entrance to it there, just about make out. This is a long way off, and the camera zoomed in about 2 or 3 miles into this area. So the image isn't very sharp. It's a little bit grungy, but it's there. You can actually see enough detail to work out that these are intelligent structures here, okay? There's lots of them here, but the image is too grungy to actually see any real detail. There's one here, there's a kind of building there as well. There's a pyramid-like structure, a bit like the Darfur pyramid in Egypt, which is a kind of stepped, kind of bent pyramid, I think they call it. Very similar. But of course, terrible detail. This is miles away from the actual rover. So it's great to actually get a structure like this, which is close up, and you can actually examine it and see. I'll show you where it is on the Gigapan. There it is. Near the middle, kind of. Middle right, just right of centre. There's the centre. Yeah, just right of centre here. You've got that big black thing there, that rock sticking up, and it's just to the left of that. Okay, you've got that thing there, and then just down the slope here. So it looks like it could be a cabin of a ship or boat. It certainly looks intelligent. It could be a building, like I said. It could be a bunker. This could be part of the sort of porch area of a bunker that's been smashed up. Don't know. It could be the basement of a taller building that was once on top. It does look like it would have had structures built up here. So this could have been a house. And we're just seeing the wrecked remains of it sticking out of the sand. And you can see the shape here, the bunker shape. It's got that kind of razor blade shape to it, which gives it kind of like a bunker appearance. It may not be, of course. So answers below as usual. Do you think this is a boat structure? Do you think this is a house, a shelter? Is it a bunker? Is it a basement of a house? Is it something else? Have I completely misconstrued this? Who knows? I mean, let's quickly have a look at the folder again. I'll show you that one there. That's a little bit smaller, that one, so it kind of sharpens it a bit. But yeah, you've got some really good detail here. That is manufactured, and I'm almost absolutely certain that this is not just a rock. This is a structure, and it's an intelligent structure, and it was built at some point in the distant past. Don't know how long. This could be thousands of years old, could be just 100 years old. Don't know. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to leave a comment below. We want to see what you think it is, and I'll let you look through the images at the end, coming up in a few seconds. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share on social media. See you soon.